Okay, now we're going. Let's hold up. Your screen sharing. New share. Stop share. Which screen am I sharing though? Which screen do you see?
I see the slides, but not like presented, like
Right.
in the step before. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. So thanks, Alaya. You're my guinea pig here. All right. So the night sky. So the question is, why don't we spend more time looking at it, right? Because, well, I think that we've gotten so used to just living inside, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
seeing the night sky has become a little bit strange to us. We'll talk about that in just a second, but it really is beautiful. I love to see night sky here. I don't know if this is a satellite or a meteor. Could be either one. Maybe it's an airplane. Hopefully it's not an airplane because those are boring. But to do astronomy, you don't need anything fancy. Just go outside and look up. I've gotten in the habit of whenever I look outside to just look up anyway. To just look up into the sky, see what's going on. I think that that's really nice. Unfortunately, we usually have this roof over our heads, prevents us from seeing anything. But
What? You have roofs over you? What are roofs? I don't know what those are.
oh
It's just
yeah. What are roofs? What is roof? Okay, so this is like an ancient sky map. Um, you can see the constellations depicted as actual creatures and people and objects. And we have all of them arranged. So here we have Ursa Major, and but this is Draco? Maybe not. I don't know. Hard to tell with these old paintings, but and then we see around the edge here all of what we would consider the zodiacal constellations. Zodiacal referring to the zodiac of astrology, which is, if you don't know how I feel about astrology, then you haven't been paying attention. But this, we have Virgo and Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn. So all of these different symbols. And the astrological symbols are related to what constellation the sun is in on the day you were born. So when the sun rises on your birthday, what constellation is behind it? That is the whole thing about astrology. Does it affect your life in any way? No, it does not. But it's essentially just telling you what time of the year you're born. And we see that we've got these other constellations here. Orion is somewhere. Where is he? Is this him? I think this is him right here. Nope. But these old school paintings over the stars, it's hard to tell. Here's Pegasus. And Hercules is right. No. I don't know. Anyway, so the constellations, we'll talk about those later. But we see, oh, here's Orion. Here he is. Yeah. There he is. Okay. So all these constellations, and humans have been tracking the stars and helping them to understand where things were, where they were. They'd use these things called sextants, astrolabes, to determine their position on the planet by looking at the stars. It's really cool. Here's Aquila. So really cool. Here is the Planispherae Celestae, which means the celestial, the heavenly planes, the heavenly planes. So pretty cool. And then I like this as well. It has different charts of like the sun. And you have the Earth going around the sun here, and how the planets go around the sun, and how the moon goes around the Earth. It's different phases. So this is pretty cool stuff. This is astronomy in its quote unquote ancient form a few hundred years ago. So what do you know about the night sky? I want you to take a moment to think about what you know about the night sky and what's going on in it. So I would recommend for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, pause the video, think about what you know about the night sky. All right. So a few of my favorite things to see in the sky. I have a telescope, it's true, but I don't need a telescope to be able to see some of my favorite things. Alaya, do you happen to know what this is right here?
That's the one constellation that people talk about that's like cool.
It's really famous. Yeah, it's named Orion.
Yep, that's what it's called. I have that sticker on my violin case. I should
Nice, very cool. So yeah, Orion, pretty cool constellation. It's very recognizable because of the 3 stars in a row here. What is called Orion's Belt, referred to in a Men in Black movie. Pretty good. And then we have this star. It's named Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. And then we've got his shield or bow. Some people talk about this, like there's differing opinions as to what this is of Orion. Then his pinhead over here. He's got his arm raised above him with like a club or a sword or something. And then he has his hilt of his sword there. And this is actually not a star here. This is a nebula. It's pretty cool. New stars being born right there. So pretty cool. Orion. If I had ever had a son, which I will never have a son because I'm done having kids, and I have 5 daughters, his name would have been Orion. But yeah, so no Orion Croshaw, bummer. There is this constellation as well. It's named Cygnus. You can see that here. Obviously, this is not a real image. I know you're all thinking it was real. This star right here is my favorite star in the whole sky. It is called, by name, it is called Albireo. Its designation is Beta Cygni, and we'll talk about what that means later, but this is Albireo. The reason why it's my favorite star is because it is actually 2 stars orbiting around each other, and their name, they're cool to me because they are very different colors. Most stars in the night sky are just white, but through a telescope you can really see that there's 1 blue star and 1 yellow star. It's pretty sweet. Okay. And you can see in this image here, most of these are just like kind of whitish blue, but this one right here is reddish yellow. Betelgeuse is reddish yellow because it is actually that color. It is a red supergiant star. So pretty cool. Some of my favorite things to see in the sky, and they're very recognizable. Cygnus is easily visible in the summer and fall, and Orion is a wintertime constellation, which is kind of a bummer because at night it gets a little bit cold here in the winter. Other cool stuff that you can see. You see here, obviously, this is the moon, and this is Venus. And sometimes they hang out together once or twice every 6 months or so maybe 3 or 4 times a year. It's pretty cool. Venus and the moon in this configuration are actually, if I'm just going to pull this up really quick, crescent. This star, this image here is, it's just called the crescent star. It is the symbol of Islam, and it is actually taken from this phenomenon right here. So when Venus and the moon are close together, that's actually a very symbolic thing for people that follow the religion of Islam. So obviously the sky has influenced our culture quite a bit, cultures around the world. I actually took this picture, so not through a telescope, just with a normal camera. Pretty sweet. Yeah, and this is one of my favorite things as well. You can see obviously that this is the bright part of the moon, right? The crescent part, but you can see the rest of the moon as well. And if you've never seen this before, when the moon is in a crescent stage, right after the sun sets, you can look at the moon, and if you look at it, and you have a good keen eye, you'll be able to see the rest of the moon. Generally, we don't see the rest of the moon because the sun is illuminating only one side, and then the rest of it is in complete darkness. This, you can see this part because there is light bouncing off of the Earth, hitting the moon, and then bouncing back to Earth, to us. So this is called Earth shine. It's a really cool name. In fact,
Sounds like a My Little Pony.
A My Little Pony. yeah. That either that or like a folk rock band. They're like hippie, folky rock band. Yeah, Earthshine. So pretty cool. All right, and then this here. This streak across the sky is a long exposure. So somebody set up a camera and just left the shutter open for like 60 seconds or so. This is a long exposure of the International Space Station going overhead. It's one of my favorite things. So for those of you who are watching, I want you to pause the video. And I want you to get out your smartphone device. And I want you to download the app ISS Detector. And I can show you that I actually have it right here under my category of space. I know, I'm such a nerd. ISS Detector. It looks like this. It's pretty sweet. It tells you when the International Space Station, as well as a few other different satellites, will be visible in your area. Right now, the International Space Station will be visible tomorrow morning at 5:57 a.m. So that's kind of a ridiculous time, but every few weeks, it's visible for several days in a row in the evening, right after the sun sets. So if you didn't know that you could see the International Space Station with your own eyes, you can, which is pretty sweet. It's very bright after the sun sets if it goes right overhead. And sometimes it's even bright enough to where you can start to see a little bit of its shape. And if you have a pair of binoculars, you can really see, you can legitimately see like the shape of the International Space Station, which is cool because there are people actually living on it, doing science and things. So pretty sweet. Okay, so really quickly, we're going to talk about light pollution and air pollution, but light pollution. So here is what Orion looks like on a clear night. Pretty amazing, right? Betelgeuse here again, the Orion Nebula, the belt. And look at all the stars in the background. It's just breathtaking. So amazing. Here is what Orion looks like with light pollution. So the best place that's close to us here in northern Utah is Antelope Island State Park. It is actually a national dark sky site, so there's very little light pollution there. So I would recommend on a clear evening, this fall would be a great time. On a clear evening, grab a jacket, drive out to Antelope Island with your family, and just look up and appreciate how beautiful it is. But it's here in the city, or near the city, we have a hard time seeing the stars because the light pollutes the sky, making it difficult to see dim stars, right? So here's a video. I'm not going to play it on this video, but it's called Where Are the Stars? See How Light Pollution Affects the Night Skies. It's from National Geographic. So I would recommend checking that video out. So pause this video, pull up a new tab, and watch, or just watch it right now, and then come back to this video. So it's really cool. It shows the differing levels of light pollution and how much you can see in the night sky. Okay, so we're going to actually do the assignment later, but I want you to download one more app. The app that I want you to download is Sky Map or Star Chart. Stellaris used to be a sky map, but apparently some mobile gaming company bought the rights to the name and made it into like an RPG game. So, I mean, download it if you want, but go get Star Chart or Sky Map. It's pretty sweet. I use Sky Map myself. So you pull up Sky Map and it uses your position and the orientation of your phone to tell you what you're looking at in the night sky. So pretty sweet. I would recommend using it because when you go out to when you go outside and you see some things in the sky, you want to know what they are. It's a really easy way to do it. Okay. So we will do the actual assignment for this later. Then you'll turn it in. Probably right now, the problem is that the sun sets at like 8:15 in the evening, and it doesn't really get dark until after 9:30. And I don't want to send you all out to do an assignment really late. So I will assign this later when the sun sets a little bit earlier in the evening, but not in the winter because it gets just too freaking cold. I took my college astronomy class in the middle of the winter in Logan, Utah, in the Great White North, and that was brutal. We had to go out and do observations. I was wearing like 2 coats and a bunch of gloves. It was very hard to write down on a piece of paper what I was seeing when I'm all bundled up, but it was good. So pretty sweet stuff. Just observe the night sky, recognize how amazing it is, and hopefully you'll learn a thing or two. So that's what I had for today. Wanted to catch you all up. Please send me an email if you have any questions. You're all awesome, and I will talk to you later.